Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be playing Reflexology, which I guess doesn't necessarily sound like something that people play with. I actually had to quickly sort of double check what Reflexology is, and the chart that you see there in the thumbnail, not far off, where essentially you've got like a very complex picture of different zones, areas on the foot that supposedly connect to different organs in the body. And the idea is a bit of pressure would help kind of send energy to those areas and relieve stress. And I think relieve stress, particularly after yesterday's performance on yesterday's puzzle, sounds exactly like the name of the game for me today. Now, I think it looks like a particularly well-named puzzle because when I bring up the grid from today's constructor, Willpower, you'll see that it does have almost like a very complex diagram with lots of different dots and lines, not too different from these charts that you may see on the wall. Anyway, let's take a look at today's puzzle and rule set with Reflexology from Willpower and the following set of rules. You can see what I mean about kind of almost like pressure zones, various lines connecting things. Fascinating puzzle. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Place digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and of course every 3x3 box. So that's standard Sudoku. Dutch whispers. Numbers on the red line, so that's this big square in the middle. If I can even highlight it, yep. Are at least 4 apart from their neighbors on the line. The number 5 does not appear on the red line. That's very kind of you. So if this cell is a 2, this would have to be 4 or more away. That could be 6, 7, 8, or 9. Let's say it was 8. This cell could be a 1. To be 4 or more away, of course, it could be, well, not 2 repeating in the column, but it could be 3, even 4. If it is 1, one thing we've been explicitly told is even though 5 is only 4 or more away, there is no 5s on the slot. So very helpful if it's actually not available. And I imagine some of you are going to skim through the rules, forget that, and maybe have a much harder time solving this. Killer cages. Numbers in cages sum to the number in the top left corner of the cage, and numbers do not repeat in the cage. We have like a pattern that I recognize that almost looks like Wenduku. May actually be exactly Wenduku. Where we've got these additional regions, basically, of the digits 1 to 9. And I say that because it's 9 cells, and digits do not repeat. So make of that what you will. I don't know if we're going to have to use this as part of our solve, but it will be fascinating if that is the case. Right, where else am I going? Pardon me, I'm sort of scrolling around trying to sort of pick up my trace. Arrows, numbers on arrows, sum to the number in the arrow circle. So these 2 cells are part of an arrow, that is this circle. If these 2 cells were, for example, 3 and 4, their sum would have to be 7 and would be written on this circle. I think. No. Will's use colors to try and tell us which is which. It's just a grey overline at the top is not necessarily helping. So the orange, blue, and purple lines are only to distinguish between different pairs. So I'll tell you what I can see. This is one arrow. This is another. And this is another. So essentially this cell is common between all of them. And these 2 cells add up to purple. These 2 cells add up to orange. And these 2 cells add up to blue. That's a bit clearer. And something similar is going on here. So careful when you're looking at this a bit later. We've got KROPKI pairs. Numbers with a white dot between them are consecutive, and numbers with a black dot between them are in a 2-to-1 ratio. So if this cell is a 2, the next cell along to be consecutive with this white dot would have to be 1 or 3. If this cell is 2 on a black dot to be in a 2-to-1 ratio, one cell is double the other, this would have to be 1 or 4. Then last but not least, we've got XV pairs. Numbers with an X between them sum to 10, and not all possible dots and X's are given. If that cell was a 2, this cell would have to be an 8 to make sure that these 2 cells add up to 10. So key statement here about no negative constraints. Something that looks as follows: 2, 3, 4, 8. adds up to 10 in a 2-to-1 ratio, is consecutive. All of that is allowed even if there are no black, white dots or X's. So that's all the rules we have for today. As always, if you want to play along, link will be in the description down below for you to do so. With that said, I'm restarting the clock and seeing how I get on. And I am hoping for that relaxing experience that I mentioned earlier. Now, I am going to immediately point out this Sudoku zones. And the thing about Sudoku is to remember that essentially this is almost like set theory. This column has the digits 1 to 9, once each. This column has the digits 1 to 9, once each. This column has the digits 1 to 9, once each. I have 3 sets of the digits 1 to 9. I have removed one set. I have removed a second set. And therefore, the remaining ones are the set of the digits 1 to 9, once each. I'm going to call this, because I need 4 colors, blue. And you can repeat this pattern here. I'm going to call this green. Here, you can do the same kind of example for the rows. And then here, I'm calling this red. Now, one last thing that I remember for one of the Sudoku puzzles I've tried to solve, I had forgotten, is essentially now you have on the diagram, in addition to the normal Sudoku boxes, rows, columns, you've got one region of the digits 1 to 9, 2, 3, 4, plus the colors, which are also 4, blue, green, yellow, and red. So that's 8 sets of the digits 1 to 9. The remaining ones that have no color on them are the digits 1 to 9 once each as well. These gray cells. So keep in mind everything that I've just shown you as we're solving. I am sure it's going to be helpful. Right. Where are we going with all of this? So Dutch whisper lines, when you have a black KROPKI dot, for it to be 4 or more away, it can only be 4 or 8. Because we know that there are no 5s on this, I know that I am oscillating between high digits and low digits. I don't know what the polarity is, but I can quickly do something as follows, where every other digit is one polarity, let's say it's orange, and every other digit is purple. I have massively put in way too many colors right now that I think it's going to be a bit of a struggle. I'm going to remove the Sudoku regions for a second, just so that we can see what is going on with the Dutch whispers. And I will put it back if I need to. Tens, to add up to 10, you need a high digit, 6, 7, 8, 9, and a low digit, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we know that this is going to be of a different polarity. Same in here. Now, what is all of that telling us? It's a really good question. So no 5s, no 5, no 5, no 5. 5 is in one of these 3 cells. 5 can never be on an X because obviously to add up to 10, there'll be another 5 in here. This is 6 or 8. You have 3 cells that are on an arrow. The minimum it could be is 1, 2, 3. They will add up to 6. In fact, that would have to be the 3. The alternative, of course, because remember this is a black KROPKI dot, from 6, 7, 8, 9, only the 6 and 8 can be here, is that this would be 4, and 4 would be with 1, 3. So in a way, there's always a 1 in here. This is 3 or 4, and this group always has a 3. And it's whether it's 2 or 4 to get to 6 or 8. So I'm still just taking it all in. There's a huge amount of information, as there would be on a reflexology chart. So given this cell is common between these 3 circles, arrow sums, I can't imagine it's particularly high. You know, let me give you an example. If this is something like 3, That would make this 6. That would make this 9. And then suddenly these are going to have to be like 3 away. So that would basically have to be 6. That would have to be 3. And you've broken the puzzle, and this would be some ridiculous number. Is that true? No, it doesn't have to be true. Because obviously if this is 3 and I made this 5, that would be 8. Right, no. Right, so this is not material then. Yeah, it is not material. So the only thing that we know for certain is this is not 4, 8, because the sum of them would add up to 12, which you can't put in a single circle. Tricky. It's just, sorry, it's an overwhelming amount of information, so I am genuinely struggling to see through this. And the bit that surprised me was I was able to use 3 and 6 to make this work. So relatively high digits. I removed the orange for these. I didn't need to do that. And purples. So intuition says that purples are the high digits because they're the arrow sums. If these were low, I'm fairly sure that's impossible. Let's go with the highest low digits I can do. 4 and 3. That would make this 1, 2. This would have to be 1, 3, which I've already used. And obviously the 2 can never be a sum of 2 cells. So I think let's take the simple win. Purple is high, orange is low. Think about what that means. I mean, it does give us our first digits. Goodness me, 7 minutes in. What have I been doing? 4 and 8 in here. This cell now we know cannot be 8. Still could be a ton of different numbers. 4 or more away. Oh, come on, Sleuth. This would be 9. Can't be repeating. So that can't be 8 because it's in the same region. This is 1, 2, 3. This is not 9. 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. Not 8. 6, 7, 9. Let's just do the easy things, Sleuth. This is, of course, low. And it's 1, 2, 3. This is high. It's 6, 7, 9. That would be 4, 1, or 3 to add up to 10. This is 1, 2, 3. It's not 1 or 3. That's a 2. We've already established that there's a 1 or 3 in here. Therefore, that's not a 2. This now, to be 4 or more away, could be anything. 6, 7, 8, 9. It's not 9 because there's a cross in the row. This is 1, 3, 4. High digit again. It looks like it could be anything. 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 3, 4 again. Anything one more time. Any low digit one more time. Okay. That's the Dutch whisper line used. The 2, of course, removed this. So this is not 1, 2, 3. This is 1, 3, 4. And therefore this is 8. This is a 4. This is a 1, 3 pair. The 8 removes the 8 from this cage. So that's not an 8. Which means 4 can't be next to the 6 or 7. That's all there is for now. Got an 8 in here. I'm going to forget Sudoku. Right, so we know that this is 6 or 7. And we know that these two cells are black Kropki dots, adding up to the 6 or 7. Fairly sure it's not going to be 7, by the way, but let me just show you. 1-2 pair on black Kropki dots is not going to work. 2-4 is going to work and point to 6. And then the next one along, 3-6, is already at 9, which is none of them. So this is 2-4. This is a 6. That can't be a 3 next to the 6. And there you go. Now, of course, not a 1 here either. 3 or 4. 3 can't be next to 6 or 7, can it? Yep. No, 6, sorry, 3 can be next to a 7, it just cannot be next to a 6. So that removes the 6 from here and the 4 from there. Okay. What else do I see? You need a 4 in this region, and it can't be any of these cells because it's either in the same box or the same row. It's one of these two. Not hugely helpful. Right, so we made 3-6 work before. What if this is a relatively high digit with a 4 in here? And remember, that's a 2. Oh, there you go. I'm not paying attention. That's in the same region. That's 4, that's 2. That's a bit easier. Right, so the minimum digits that I'm left over with is 3 and 5, which would make this a 5 and a 7, sorry, and an 8. It's not really going to work because I'm reusing the 5. Three and 2 would create a 5. And that can't be 5. So let's just think about what this is. 2, so this is either 5, can't be 6, because I already used it, so it can't be 8, or 7. So there's a definite 7 in one of these two cells. There is no 7 in here, therefore, and no 7 in there either. No 7 here means no 3. Okay. This is not 9. Let's have a think about what it could be. If this is 3, that's 5. So this could be as low as 5. It's not 6. It could be, it's not 7. We've established 7 is in one of these two cells. It could be 8. Can't be 8 because that would be 6. So from 5, 6, 7, 8, which requires the 6, and 9, this is forced to be 5. This is 3. That makes this 7. That makes this 9. Then the last remaining digit, the 8, is in here. 3 gave me 1 and 3 up there. In the same region, 4 and 6 are gone. Nine is gone, so that's 8 and 2. 8 can have a 4 next to it, so I haven't necessarily helped myself here. With 2, 7, and 9 gone, this can only be 4, 6 now. Essentially, it's not 2, 8, it's not 1, 9, it's not 3, 7. Because this is a 4, 6 pair, where I'm going with this is that can't be a 5 because that would be back to 4, 6. So this is essentially either increasing, as in 6, 7, 8, or decreasing, as in 4, 3, 2, which it isn't. So this has to be 6, 7, 8. This has to be the 4. 5 is not on the x as we established earlier, so that's the 5. And this is 1, 9, or 3, 7, because we're kind of using that one. So it's not 3, 7, because we've already used the 7. This has to be 1, 9. This region tells us that's the 9, that's the 1, that's the 3. That makes this a 7. 3 is still possible next to the 7. That is 4 or more away. It doesn't necessarily help us there. That's not 1, 2. That is 3, which forces this to be an 8. And this is not 3. This is not 9. 6 or 7 means that 4 is too close. Excellent. I don't know if the Wenduko is used in a solve, but that felt like almost like a red heading from my part. Just completing this region, that's a 1. I'm still missing 5 and 9. That's the 9, that's the 5. Now a bit of Sudoku, because we kind of largely used almost all the clues except Wenduko, which, I'm going to do a bit of Sudoku first to clean up and then see if it's still useful. So this is 2, 7. This is 4, 6. And this is, I'm going to say 1, 5. Okay. Can I eliminate any of them with the regions? No. These are 6. Well, 6 can only be in here. And 7. Now, with the 1, 3, I still need another 5 to get 1, 3, 5. Excuse me. That can't be 1, because it's already in the region. Interesting. Still not quite enough. Now we still need a 9 in column 5, and it can't be here. It's one of these 3. Not very useful. Right, what's going on here? We need a 1 in there. Go to 2. 3s are in here. In fact, may as well just pencil mark these. Pardon me, that may be easier. This is 1, 5, 6. This is 3, 4, and 8. This can't be an 8, so this is a 3, 4 pair. This is my 8. These 3 are 2, 7, 9. So 3, 4, 1, 5, 6 means this is the other 1, 5, 6, which is not 1 or 5. This is my 6. And therefore not 6, and therefore is 6. 6, maximum of 7, that's 1. That means that's 5, that's 1. That's 2, that's 3, that's 4. All looking good. Not 2, 7, 9. Excellent. And obviously to add up to... I really did this wrong here, I'm sorry. 6 is adding up to an 8. Yeah, so this was a 6 because it's not... So it's 1, 5 or 6, excuse me. But it's not 1 or 5. So this is 6. But it's this arrow pointing towards the 8. So that's a 2. That's the mistake I made. Now, to get to 6 or 7 with a 2, this is either 4 or 5. And it's not 4, it is 5. And that is 7. Very different solve, as you can see, with that mistake I made. Excuse me. That doesn't actually seem to resolve right now. I mean, these are now, I'm going to say 4, 9 pairs. These 3 cells are, they're not 1, 2, 3, they are 4, 5, and 9. That's not a 5. That's a 4, 9 pair, therefore that's another 1, 3. And this is not 4 or 5, that is 9, which gives me 4, 9, 4, 5. Oh, that 1, 3 and 1, therefore 2, not 1, not 5, not resolved, not 2 here, that's 9, so that hasn't changed. That's a 7, that's a 2. Right up here, that's a 3. These two cells are also known, 2 and 6. Doesn't look like it's resolved either. I'm gonna lose this, I don't feel like I need it. Excuse me. 3 gave me 4 and 3. Dutch Whispers is now done. I'm gonna actually just remove it, as well as the X's. Don't need the colors here, they're just noise. Kind of surprised these haven't resolved, but that's okay. We've got another 5, 6 then, plus something else. 4, 5, 6. The extra region is not helping here. To complete this, I've got 1, 4, 5, 6. 4 and 6 are not here. This is 4 and 6 somehow. Oh, I've got 4. Therefore, this is the 6 because I can't have it anywhere else. That does give me 5, 1, 6, and a 4 in here. So I need 1, 5 and something else. 1, 5 and 9. The 1 can only be here. The 9 can't be there. That's that. That's 5. That's not 5. These look like the result because of the 3. That's 5. That's 1. These are not for the moment. Excuse me. Right, that's 1. We need 1 in column 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need 6 and 7 from the looks of things. That's 7, that's 6. Therefore, that's 2, that's 6. That 7 gives me 2 and 7. That 4 gave me 6 and 4. That's all of our pencil marks done. This region, we have 1 more digit to place. 3. And that's kind of the Wenduko done. And it's just Sudoku now. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. That's 9, that's 8. Yeah, I definitely went off the wrong track, I think, with the Wenduko thought in the beginning. Just you learn to recognize it and use it if it's available. Lovely puzzle, Willpower. I'm not going to say it's relaxing, but at the same time, I don't think I'm going to find Reflexology relaxing, but enjoyable for sure. Hope you guys enjoyed the puzzle and the video, and I'll see you back soon. Bye-bye for now.